Good morning, Loganites. So today is already the end of week 8 nurse practitioner school. How crazy is that? Number one, it's already been 2 months. It's already been 2 months and I have 100s in every class and a 95 in one other class. 95's and above average. You can't complain about that. That's pretty awesome. You might notice I'm not inside. I am actually in Cookeville, Tennessee at a park while Jennifer's at a baby shower. So that's what I'm doing. If you hear any weird noises, like I've heard some sirens go off and like some squirrels like gnawing at me, that's what that is. This week, I want to talk about why it's important to have a study buddy. And there are some reasons why it's very important and what I look for in a study buddy. Now, when I say study buddy, I'm going to go ahead and say I generally look for someone that's also a male. Honestly, I do. Because I don't want there to be any kind of like weird feelings, right? I don't want there to be any kind of weirdness if I need to call you or if I need to text you or if we need to hang out till 10 p.m. to study. I don't want there to be any kind of weirdness with that kind of stuff. So that's why I usually generally try to stick to a male, okay? I tried to do it this time. I tried to find me a male. I couldn't, but I did find a nice lady. Her name is Mabel. I'll just go ahead and say it. Her name is Mabel. And she's very smart, very nice, and we have a lot of good back and forth. That's good. Other things I look for. So smart, male, and that they care about their grades. Because I'm gonna be honest, I have a very quick, my bottom line or my like gut reaction every time is, I don't care. Or, why am I doing this? You know, I lose like, not motivation, but I guess motivation for really caring. So, and the person I look for is I look for someone that really cares about their grades. Because sometimes like my gut reaction is just go, well, B's will get me there. Used to be C's, but B's will get me there. Because what's the difference between a straight A nurse or a straight A doctor and a C doctor or nurse? Nothing. They still have a license. So it's very important for me to find someone that cares highly and has a high standard for the grade so that I can also kind of like try to soak some of that in. Reasons why you want to have a good study buddy: you gotta have somebody. You gotta have somebody that's going through the program with you, because no matter if you've got like a best friend or a wife or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is, they don't truly understand what it's like to have to put up with this BS. And it's always gonna feel like BS. It's always gonna feel like BS. I haven't been a part of a program that didn't feel like BS. I mean, even the paramedic program, all the extra like paper tracking. You had to do a lot of paperwork for the paramedic program. It felt like BS. So you need that somebody that is going to understand what you're going through, that you can bounce ideas off of. During nursing school, I had a guy named Braxton. He was in my wedding. He was one of my closest friends. He was a good influence on me on everything. I mean, I was a smoking, drinking, partying son of a gun, and this guy was not. And that balanced me out very well. It kept me on the straight and narrow because I needed someone to pull up my weaknesses. And I did the same with him. I kept him on as far as like studying. Like, you have to study. You have to do what you got to do. We got to get through this. So we went to study sessions and all kinds of cool stuff together. We've been on camping trips and stuff. You need that person. That being said, I am worried about my girl Mabel. These classes are tough. I was worried about myself until I got points on the board. These classes are tough. And there's an instructor, economics instructor, is very tricky in her questions. Like, economics is like my passion. The only reason I get to travel and do what I do is because I manage my money very well. I don't make a lot of money, but I manage it very well. So the only way I can do that, do those things, is by managing it. I'm into economics. I love it. I listen to podcasts. I've done so much reading since before I was a paramedic. I was doing this stuff, okay? You have to know economics, or not really necessarily economics, but you have to know your personal finance. I just took it further to economics. I'm into it. This professor, even her questions on economics is worded so trickily that even though they're simple, some of these things are just simple terms or simple ideas, it's hard to figure out the right question. I'm not joking. It's hard. Like, I kid you not, okay? There was like the second test, I was looking at my book. and I'm looking at the question because the tests for this class are open book. I got my book, I got my question, I got my book, I got my question. The question is verbatim, exactly as the book, but it doesn't feel like it's the right answer. There's something just a hair off. Like, I think she had switched like one verb or took like an id off the end, like an ed off the end, and it completely changed everything. So I'm looking at the almost exact same sentence, and still I couldn't just in my soul like accept that that was the right answer. And thank God I did, because I went with what like my soul, my gut, whatever was telling me. And after the test, I got it right. But it's those kinds of things that I think is messing her up, because she is so tricky. And like I said, I'm in the economics. It shouldn't be tricky. Just be straightforward. Don't mess with it. And just ask straight up questions. Why do we got to be tricky? I can't stand people being tricky. There's no reason for it, because either you don't, or either you know it or you don't. There shouldn't be like this gray area because they worded the question wrong. Don't do it. Just don't be like that. If you're out there and you're an instructor looking at this, don't be a douche. So my girl Mabel, she's having issues with that class, and I totally see why. And the issue is I can't even help her, because it's not like she's not a smart lady. She wouldn't be my study buddy if she wasn't smart. The class is so freaking tricky. It's so tricky, and that hurts my soul, because like I would love it to have this person that I can kind of just like hitch my wagon to, and we just kind of caravan through this whole nurse practitioner school. You need that person. I'm hoping it's her. I think it's going to be her, but I gotta do something with her. I gotta do something for her. Like, I don't know. I gotta do something. So let me just real quick run through all the weird things that have happened this week. Just, you know, how I do. Epidemiology. That class actually pumped the brakes a little bit. Now this class up until this point has been doing a quiz and a paper every week. And this is also the same class that if you want to look at your stuff on Sunday night, you can't. It doesn't open until 8 a.m. Monday morning. I work Mondays and Wednesdays. They don't open the quiz until Wednesday. So you don't even know what you need to do to prepare for the week until Monday morning at 8 a.m. Like I said, I work early. I've been at work, not been able to look at what I got to do for that class because it was before 8 a.m. I don't like that. Anyways, this week, epidemiology pumped the brakes, and we didn't have a quiz. We just had like a homework assignment. Where did that come from? I don't know, but let's keep doing that epidemiology. DNP seminar. I can't stand this class. This is the same damn class that at the very beginning, this woman had the Zoom meeting and was just talking over people. Didn't care if you heard the information or not. Didn't like that, and I still don't like her. This week, we had a mandatory Zoom on a Thursday, and I had family over. So, in my fashion, I just logged into the Zoom, let it play, and I was gonna watch the recording after because she records them and puts them up after. Halfway through the Zoom, I was checking on my computer and stuff, making sure everything's good. I go into the chat, and it's like, please turn on your cameras. So I turned that camera on, turned my laptop off, and just let it look straight at the light. I think that's pretty shitty too as well. There's no reason why you need to see in my house. I'm gonna be quite honest. That's kind of a douche move. There's no reason for you to see in my house. Simple as that. I don't know you. You don't need to know me. You don't need to see my face. I pay your salary. It's a shit move. So, I don't like her. So, I did the Zoom. I had my dinner, whatever. I get up. So, Friday morning, we're driving up here to do the baby shower. And I get on there to listen to the Zoom. So now I've got time to listen to it. Like the rest of this class is set up that you can do it in your own time. Even though it's like within this week, you have the whole week to do it. I get on there, she didn't record the Zoom. It's like, if I knew that shit, I got a camera. I can record stuff. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. I should have known that she was gonna be tricky. Next time I will record the Zoom, even if she says she's gonna do it. That's not cool. But I do have the PowerPoint to actually review. It just doesn't have all the information that the presenter had as well. It just has the PowerPoint, not all the extra talking bits. Tricky. I don't like it. Theory, my class that is really far out there and asks a lot of weird stuff, finally has made it into a world of reality, into the world that we know today. It's the most modern philosophy we looked at, and it's the first time I've ever been able to understand it. Flip side of that though, is they had assigned way too many readings and way too many videos. I shit you not, the videos that I had to watch were 4 hours. 4 hours in the videos. I ain't got time to do 4 hours of videos and 4 chapters in a book that usually take me about an hour per chapter, maybe even a little bit more. And then start on this homework assignment stuff. I ain't got time for that. That's crazy. What are you doing? So I did, I'm not gonna lie, just watch the videos and then go into the book and just take out some like lines and stuff and write my paper that way. But that's a lot. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? The guy that runs it's cool. He's cool. He likes it too much. It's theory. Don't like it that much. And like I told you, economics, we had a test. It was also tricky, I'm not gonna lie. This last test, there was 2 questions that I sat on for a long time trying to figure out. And I figured it out eventually, but I can definitely tell that like an epidemiology test or a theory test, I can go in there and with like, you know, I drink my caffeine, I'm ready to go. I know I can go in there and put my full brain power at it and power through. That is not the case with economics. I can put my full brain power to this tricky test and these tricky questions and still sit there for a moment and go, I just don't know. I'm talking like it doubles, triples my time taking these tests because of how it's worded. And it's economics. It's not hard. She's just that tricky. The way she words everything is that tricky. Guys, that's my week. I really want to know if you're out there watching these videos, if you're enjoying them, if it's something you're into. The way I know that is if you like it and you subscribe and you comment. I want to know that this is actually making it to the people that want to watch it. That's all I want. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for anything like that. I put a lot of time and effort into these things. Please, if you do watch these things, let me know somehow. Holla at your boy. And with that, always remember, keep your corn on the cob. Until next week, I'll be here.